Run for circularity, that's the topic. I already mentioned that. And yeah, let's have a deeper look into the topic of circularity now with our next presentations. And yeah, when we talk about circularity, there's still lots of bottlenecks and loopholes on the one hand, but on the other hand, there are great achievements already. And yeah, we will have a deeper look into that, that's what I said, and I'm really happy now to introduce Evelyn Mora. She is the founder of Helsinki Fashion Week, and she will tell us about the new normal. So what will the new normal be? That's Evelyn.
Hello. Hello.
Big
Hi,
applause.
Thank you.
So yeah, the new normal is a project with the Infinited Fiber Company and the WWF Finland. And
Yes.
yeah, let us know more about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. First of all, I think it's an amazing event here. Definitely, I think the world's sustainable hub, and I'm very honored to be here. So thank you, Messe Frankfurt, for an amazing event, Fashion Tech and Fashion Sustain. Firstly, I'm not going to talk too much about Helsinki Fashion Week, so you can see the website up there, and you can read more about 2017 edition of Helsinki Fashion Week from the amazing amount of press that we received last year. So basically, the new normal project idea came because Helsinki Fashion Week is 4 years old, and before Helsinki Fashion Week there wasn't a transparent and open platform for designers or fashion really to present their ideas, innovations or collections to the buyers or press. A lot of Finnish designers, they participated in international events, and kind of the source of Finnishness and Finnish design and quality was kind of missing. And definitely we believe in Helsinki Fashion Week that there is space and creativity and need for this kind of platform. So when we created Helsinki Fashion Week, we went back to the 80s when the last similar event existed. Because of the political and economical situations, this event was not produced anymore. So in that way, our fashion industry that used to be the leading fashion industry in the Nordics shrank and became really small and non-existent. When we decided to produce this event, we wanted to have an identity, and obviously we wanted to go with sustainability because in my opinion and in our opinion, if you don't produce sustainably, there is no point to entering fashion industry anymore. So basically, when we decided to have this identity, we went to the Environmental Institute of Finland. We talked with them, with their experts, to guide us into how can we create this kind of a platform. And because of the history of Finnish fashion industry, we had to create a very unique platform, and so we couldn't copy-paste something that already existed in Denmark or Stockholm. So we had to, for example, create a non-profit organization that sponsors the designers to take part in Helsinki Fashion Week and to create a new kind of financial structure. And also to be open to other creatives, other industries and consumers. So we were scouting for sustainable designers, and we realized that there is a lot of upcycling designers, but they don't have stock. So we can't showcase them to the buyers because they cannot buy the collections eventually, which is the point of Fashion Week in the end of the day. And then we started interviewing, communicating with the designers to find out why they don't have collections and how can they actually start producing, mass producing in a sustainable way. So then we asked WWF Finland to become our partner and guide us into the process. How can we bring this information and make it accessible and easy to reach for the designers? So we came up with the New Normal project. The idea of the New Normal project is to basically tackle each step of the supply chain. And you have to understand that in Nordic Fashion Week Group, which manages Helsinki Fashion Week, we are not designers. We have designers in our team, but we are not designers. So I think we thought it's a great place to start doing a collection when you don't know anything about anything, basically. So we did a lot of experiments, a lot of errors, and challenges in the way. So this collection is aimed to be 100% sustainable. And at the moment, unfortunately, there is not 100% sustainable yet. But we wanted to aim to that in production, in social responsibility, and in every step of the supply chain. We wanted to, basically the ultimate goal is to create a report, a guide for the designers or fashion brands that wants to start producing sustainably, and fashion professionals to kind of have a report and kind of an experiment, an idea about how you can start producing sustainably, how to find the suppliers, manufacturers, and all the other needed parts into creating a collection. So basically, also, we didn't want to have this collection designed by Helsinki Fashion Week. So we wanted to create this kind of a co-creation community where anyone, also the undervalued consumers that companies often forget, to be able to also come and participate into this creative process. And we ultimately believe that the creative process is the right way to kind of maybe in education present sustainability to the designers, and less of the scary sustainable information and more of the creative possibilities with biomaterials and using different materials and technology into creating something new. So WWF was very happy to participate and come on board in this project, and they basically introduced us to Infinited Fiber Company, which I'm very proud to say is a Finnish company, very international big company, and basically they do a process technology where they change or regenerate waste textile into new fibers, and not only once, but many times, again and again. So the produced yarn and the fabrics can be again regenerated into new fibers and new yarn, and so on. And for different step of the supply chain, we want to have a professional expert in the industry. So Hoistede Insights is an intercultural management consultancy that will come on board later on in the New Normal project. So for us, this was, of course, a big challenge because we have never produced a collection. So we had to take into account the material, the processing, the manufacturing, and design process, and all the other steps of the supply chain. So we created a New Normal platform, which is still developing, and the idea is to basically have this report available in the platform, the collection on sale on the platform, and also the co-creation platform where everyone can take part too. Of course, there's a lot of challenges, and the idea of this report is to have a record of all the challenges that we face. For example, we had many partners, and some of them got bankrupt into the process, or they didn't get funding, and there is many challenges that we have faced. So in the manufacturing, we have to aim to basically follow these guidelines and rules that WWF Finland has provided us. And of course, the idea is also that corporations that we work with, like factories or suppliers, the idea is for them to also be willing to develop more into sustainable production and manufacturing. Then we have fabric production, garment production, parts, and then the smart design and co-creation. We think that sustainability is communicated quite negatively, and we are often being really kind of threatened to be more sustainable, and just, if we are not sustainable, we're going to all die, the end of the world is here, the climate change is real, so we're going to all die soon and the end of the world is here, which is kind of true, but the idea is to inspire people and present this as an opportunity to be more creative and stand out as a designer or a brand. Use this in creating value in your company, rather than aiming to copy-paste the business models of other existing fashion companies and try to make monetary profit as soon as possible. So basically, we wanted to facilitate the design thinking and the transparency and open platform into this project. In the retail and distribution part, we have also partners, which I cannot reveal yet, but very impressive and innovative chains that want to collaborate and distribute this collection. I spent 8 months in South Africa, and I was living in the townships in Durban and in Cape Town, and it was the best experience of my life. It kind of opened my eyes about everything. We did a lot of workshops with the locals, and I really saw how Africa is kind of misunderstood as a creative, trend-setting continent, basically. So also, we did a lot of research, market research, and consumer behavior research there, and we started collaborating with WGSN, and they have a lot of amazing data and information available about these countries in Africa. So we want to launch the collection in Africa to support and promote the growing creativity, entrepreneurship, ideas that these countries have. And the new generation is definitely embracing the local production and handmade products, sustainability, and there is a lot of information and possibilities there. And of course, Chinese big manufacturers and factories are investing into these countries and opening new factories and basically kind of killing this growing creative and innovative movement. So we want to also participate on a social level, and that's why we choose to launch the collection there. So basically, it will, of course, be online as well, the collection available globally. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Evelyn.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming from Helsinki.
Thank you.
In fashion, there's an ugly side to looking beautiful. Namely, 70 million tons of waste contributed to landfills around the world annually. This translates into an increasing consumption of virgin resources. Cotton growers supply 25% of all insecticides globally and use 20,000 liters of water for just 1 kilo's yield. Infinited Fiber Company have developed a process technology that can turn textile and paper waste into new fibers for the textile industry. Not just once, but infinitely, without decreasing the quality of the fiber. The goal is to revolutionize the fashion world by changing the wasteful nature of clothing manufacture. The technology rids the value chain of carbon disulfide, that is the most challenging, hazardous, and biologically harmful chemical in the fashion industry. The quality of the new fiber is on par with viscose and cotton, so the usage potential is significant. By using this approach to recycle 25% of the cotton and viscose textile currently placed in landfills or thrown in the garbage, and substitute another 25% of the cotton used for textiles with wood pulp, the emission reduction would be 14.2 million tons of CO2 annually by 2026. If recycled paper is used as feedstock, the emission savings will be even greater. Infinited Fiber has established a pilot factory in Espoo, Finland. By creating a new way to produce cellulose fibers, we can reach a closed-loop solution for the textile industry.
So ultimately, our goal is not to stay only, not only have the Infinited Fiber Company, but also other innovative new materials that are available for designers, and create, get involved like with education and create this platform that is open and transparent for everyone and different materials, and create this kind of a guideline and one place where you can get this access to this kind of information, which unfortunately, in my knowledge, doesn't really exist. And it has to be creatively innovative and inspiring for the designers eventually. So this idea came from the fact that our sustainable and upcycling designers are not so strong into turning their brands into a commercial brands where actually buyers can buy and their collections. So yes, thank you.
Yeah. Big applause. It's a great project.
Thank you.
And thanks for having you here. When will it be launched in Africa? Did you say that? Or?
Right. So we are in the process now to we are communicating with different parcel companies to collaborate with, and the new set of yarns from Infinited Fiber Company. So they're running a lot of tests to make sure that the yarn is strong enough to actually last and this kind of processes. So we are waiting for the yarn and then the fiber, which we will turn into yarn and so on. So it's still in an early stage, and we have a lot of other different kind of projects going on, just because we need to solve a lot of problems that not only Finnish fashion industry has, but the global one.
Yeah, I think we'll hear about that later on as well, because it's not that easy to create those fibers and to have the full circle and to introduce the circular economy into your businesses. But thank you so much.
All right.
And
thank you.
Thanks.